So from here it will be new project. Okay, so a dialog box will come, but I'm canceling it. You can go from here also, file, and then new and new project. Okay, again the same dialog box will come, and here we will select console app, C sharp. Okay, of course C sharp, and then console app, and here we will write our project name. Okay, so Shanti Oops, right? Okay, so this is our project name, and okay. Creating project. Okay, creating project, Shanti Oops, and project creation successful. So the namespace of our project is Shanti Oops. Okay, and here I will tell you some more details. First of all, what I have yesterday taught you, that we will create a class building. Okay, so here itself, let it be here. Again I am creating a new class here. Okay, I am creating a new class, that is class space building. Okay, and now I will write a members name. Members means fields. Okay, so first I will write public int, then its area, again hmm, floor, and occupants. So these are three fields, okay, which we have declared here in a class. So if in a class only there are fields, this class is known as data class, because in this class there are only fields which the data which we have to input, which we have to set in these fields. Okay, this is a data member, data field. Okay, there are no members, there are no methods here, so it will we will call it a data class. Okay, so this is a data class. Now okay, let it be data class, that's it. Suppose this is a small class. hmm? This is a small class in which I have given only three fields: area, floors, and occupants. That's it. And here a class has been created. And now in this another class, I will create a main method. hmm? And in this main method, I will create an object of this class. Which one? Which class? That above class, building. So building and house is equal to new space tab, and that's it. Okay, this is one object we have created. Okay, and now the another one. Like this. Okay, so there are two objects, and the integrities, the internal mechanism, the internal manipulation of all these reference variables and the object I have shown you yesterday. Okay, so these are the two objects. Now see, now if house is equal to office, so that will be false. If house equal to office, right? And let's say here I will write console dot write line, and the condition is this is an expression. Of course, this is an expression, and expression will return you true or false. Okay, so right now in this case, this condition is false. Okay, this is zero placeholder, and this house is equal to office. This is a one variable, let's say, and this comes under zero place. So the result of this expression will be displayed in this zero placeholder. Hmm? And here I am writing console dot read key. That's it. Now I'll run it, and you will see the result. The condition is false, or anything you can say. So I'm just running it. Build. It is asking for something. Okay. Any guesses? Hmm. Any guesses why the answer is not coming? All right. Hmm? Now correct. Okay. Right. Body. Braces. Braces. What I have told you yesterday, that if only there is one line after if condition, if there is only one line, the only one line statement, so there is no use of braces. And here only there is a statement of one line. Okay, this is the statement of one line. That's why there is no use of braces. You can write, but it is optional. If there are two lines here, then we have to write the braces here. Fine. Now again I'll put on the break point here. Okay, right now it is false. Okay, false. House is equal to office, because both the memory address are different. That's why it is false. And here you will find the condition is false. Okay, now this is first scenario. Now if I write right? If I write this, right? So in this condition, the first condition will false, the second if condition will give you true. So in this one, it will say the condition is true. In this one, the condition is false, and here the condition is true. The condition is false. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, okay. Right? Okay. So our two scenarios gone successful. Type of which type? House is of type building. Of course, it will give the result of also a building. So what we have to store in which type, right? Because house is of which type building, na? Let's say for example, if I say int I and int j, and I is equal to j, so both should be integer, na? So same here, same here, right? So two conditions. Now the third one, what I'll do is I'll not write it here, I will put it here, control X, and I will put it here. Okay. Now again, now I write here, hmm? Now in this case, right? So first condition will be false, second one will be true, and then again it will be true. Okay. Hmm? Done, right? So these are the three scenarios that you must always remember. It will always, yeah, most probably it will always 90% it will be asked in your interview. Hmm? These are the three scenarios. I mean, not three scenarios, but you should know about the memory addresses, where each and every reference variable is uh, referring to which object, right? So now next, this is the first concept I've shown you. Now the second one. Since I have written area, floor, and occupants, okay. Now see, you know all these three conditions are gone successful. Now I am putting some values. Hmm? I am putting some values here. Say, let it be. I am putting here. Say it's house, and if I say dot, you you see here area, floors, and occupants. That in blue box, area, floors, and occupants. You can see these three names in our IntelliSense. Why? Okay. This is and this is because they are public. They are public. That's why. And if let's say I put in like this int area, so by default it is private. By default this area is private and floor and occupants are public. So now if you will see here, now if you will see here dot, so you will not see area. Okay, only two fields will be shown here, floor and occupants. Hmm? So this intelligence play a very vital role in our programming. If anything you can't see in this intelligence, that means there is some garbage. All right, because if right now right I'm not seeing here the area, so that means why? Because area is private. That's why. Okay. Now if you will see, now you can see. Okay. So now I am initializing the values in these fields. First area. Okay, that is, let it be 2500. Okay, then floors, and then occupants, let it be 4. Okay, now if we want to see the output of these values, so just what we need to do is, just we will write console dot write line, then the area is okay like this. What should I do? Should I use concatenate or placeholders? Concatenate plus then house dot area. Okay, the first one, and then the floor, floor, and the occupants. Okay, and the area of a house is this. Hmm? Fine. So now when you will see this result, you will see here the area of a house itna, itna and itna. Okay, now I will run it. Okay, the area of a house is itna 2500, the floors of a house are 2 and the occupants of a house are 4. Okay, okay, now okay, now let's say here the same thing I will do here, but here I will put on h1. Hmm? H1. Okay, that means the, yeah, because now H1 is equal to house, because the condition is true. Hmm? So what will happen here? The, yeah, the values of an house object will be equivalent to the values of H1. Hmm? See, same. This one, and then H1, H1 and H1, right? So results are the same. Okay, the house and H1 results are same. Okay, why? Because now the memory address of house and H1 are equal, so both are seeing the same object. And if anybody changes that those values, then again both will see that changed values. Hmm? Now see, what I'll do, I'll change it here. Okay, I'll again change the values here. What I'll do is, I'll write, let's say only area I'm changing, only area, control C, and here I'll put what here, control V, and here I will write 250. Okay, and who is changing? H1 dot area. Okay, so because H1 is changing the value, to automatically the house will also see the same changed value. Now let it be. Now if I write, let's say control C and control V, and here I write house, and here also I will write house. Okay, so now the changed value, the changed area of a house is 250. It doesn't matter that anybody in both of this H1 and house, if anybody changes the values, then those values will be reflected to both of them, H1 as well as house. Okay, because now the H1 object, H1 reference variable has changed the value from 2500 to 250. And now if I again want to retrieve the value from our house object, and here I am retrieving from house.area, so here house also will see the same changed value, that is 250. Hmm? Okay, see, what I'll do is, I'll not do right, I'll put it on like this. It will be much better, because step by step. See, okay, now here the area of a house is 2500, the floor 2, and the occupants of that particular house is 4. And you will see the area of house is 2500, the floors of a house are 2, and the occupants of a house are 4. Okay, see, the area of house is 2500 and 2 and 4. Fine. Now because this condition is right now false, so it will go in else condition, and you will see the condition is false. The condition is false. Okay, now here I am taking a reference variable of H1 of class building, and I have set the reference the memory address of that house object to H1. Okay, so then, and if I retrieve the value from the H1 H1 fields, then it will be shown what, 2500, 2 and 4. The same value, 2500, 2 and 4. Now, here I am changing the value from 2500 to 250, and who is changing? H1 is changing, right? The H1 is changing its area. So automatically the object of house will also see the same changes. Okay, here house dot area, and now you will see here. So what you will see? 250. Okay, and this you know, H1 is equal to house, condition is true, and then house is equal to office. Now what? Now here the condition will be true. Right now I have set the memory address of the office to house. So again, if I see house is equal to office, then it will be true, and read K. Okay, now one scenario. Now if I see, because I have written here house is equal to office, that means house dot area is equal to office dot area, because right, right. So office dot area is what? 4500. No, I have given no. Acha. Wait a minute. Control C, and let's say Control V. And here I am writing like this, and again I am here writing, let's say 45, and floors are 10 and occupants are 40, let's say. Okay, that means the values of the fields of the house object of an office object are different. The values are different. Now, if here house is equal to office, so I am putting the whole object, means the memory address of an office to house. That means the memory address of house will see the same values of office. So if I will, after this, if I will write here this the same statement, if I will write downstairs, that means here. So what you will see here? You will see that house dot area is equal to 4500, a floor is equal to how much? 10, and occupants are 40. Okay, see, now I am putting that what breakpoint at this point, and I'll write it. Okay. Okay, now see, house dot area will be what? 4500, floors will be 10, and occupants will be 40. See, 4500, floors will be 10, and occupants will be 40. Why? Now because the memory address house, the memory address of that house. So the memory address of house is seeing the same values of an office. That's why. So that's it. Right? So this is the main concept. This is the basic of an objects allocated to the memory. Right? This is the basic. You should know this step first. First comes this one, because in each interviews, if you will go for Google, if you will go for TCS or any big companies, Accenture and anything else, they will ask you this question first. Practical also, maybe it's up to them. They can sit you in one computer and will ask you, just come on, write the program. Okay, so be prepared for this if you are going for some good companies. Okay, that's clear. Everyone understood? Any difficulty in understanding, in listening, any level of difficulty in English? That's easy. Clear? Okay, so this is our first ever program in OOPS concept. Hmm? This is our basics. Now I'll do some experiments here. What I'll do, I'll put a method now. Hmm? Let's not interrupt the flow of this class, of this program. When it will be finished, then I will come to that part. So let's say here I am writing a method, and method will be, let's say, area per person, area per person, and that particular method will not return anything, void, and and this method will be public because you have to access that method to the client, to the main. So public void area per person. Okay, and here because it is not returning anything, so we are displaying from this particular method. So what we will do is, and here I will write methods are is the behavior, right? In the methods we manipulate the fields. The manipulation of the fields, which means the manipulation of data, is done under methods. Whereas in class we will define the methods as well as that those fields. So area divided by, yes, occupants. And who is saying here कि space नहीं होता है? Who is saying here? Yesterday somebody, right? You. See. Okay. Which A? This A. It will again see. If you write A R E, there it appears and then tab. Hmm? Okay. So this is a simple method which is just showing the calculation of the area per person, and it is not returning anything, and neither it is taking any parameters. Okay, no parameters and no return type. If there is no return type, then it will be void. So now, if suppose if I write here, if I call this method, let's say put it here. Okay, control C, and control V, and programmers are very fast in this cut and paste, cut, copy and paste. See, now directly I am calling here that particular method dot area per person, right? And here you can see the methods are always be shown in pink box. Hmm? And you have to write parenthesis after that name of the method. It is necessary because this distinguish that this is a method. Okay. Okay, it will create an error. Yes, I know. Why it is showing an error? Because it is already given that it is not returning anything, void. Okay, and here I am writing in this right line house dot area per person, and it is not returning anything. So that's why. So yes, simply we have to call this, right? Simply we have to simple in this way, right? When we will call this, the execution engine will automatically will go to that particular method and it will be executed. Okay, see, again I will I'll put here house dot area per person, and area per person, let it be bilkul generic. The area per person is itna, and then in H1 let it be H1. Where is the office one? So अभी हमें ये नहीं है. Okay, so I'll put the breakpoint here, and then again I'll run it. The execution engine will come here, and from here it will go to that method. Okay, and because it is of house, so the area of the house is what? 2500, and the occupants is 4. So it will be 625. Okay, so there it will show you 625. See, because it is an object of house, na? That's fine. How it is distinguishing? See, because here we have written house, and the method is called by this particular object house, and the area of that house is 2500, and the occupants is 4. Occupants are 4. That's why when we are calling this area per person, we are calling this method of house object. So that's why it will go here. It will go to this method, and area will be 2500 and then 4. And if I call office dot, then it will go that particular 4500, right? And then occupants will be what? 10, 40, yes, occupants are 40. See here. I'll write here. Office dot area per person. That's it. And now again, if I put the breakpoint here, and again I will call this. Okay. Right now the area of office is 4500 and the occupants 40. So when I will run, because now this area per person is called by this office object. Okay. It will go here and see area will be 4500 and occupants are 40. And then it will show you the result. Okay. See, the area per person is 112. Clear? Now any doubts? Any questions? So I am giving you 2 minutes, just go through it. If you have any questions here, then let me know. It is gradually becoming more and more lengthy. Good. Okay. So if you have any doubts, then let me know. Now what I'll do is I'll put here int, and now it will give an error. Okay. Okay. Because now this particular method is returning an int type, so it is necessary that you have to write the return keyword, because previously we were writing void, so there was no need of return, but now because we are putting int, the return type, so that's why we have to write here return. Okay. You wish, it's your wish, लगाना लगा दो. ठीक है. Okay. So but here, now see this office dot area per person I have written. Okay. Now what will happen here is, when the execution engine will reach here, of course it will go to this method, and because this method is now not displaying anything, but it is manipulating and giving the result to some variable, right? So we have to store the return value in some variable, and because this area per person is returning an integer value, so we have to take an integer variable there in this main method. Let's say I am putting here int and area per person, let's say area area per person. Okay. I have just declared this variable here, and because this area per person is returning an integer value, so this value you have to store in some variable, so it will be then like this, right? And this you have to show in console dot write line. So because this is of house, so let's say what I need to do is I'll create only one variable. And what I'll do, I'll write here app, okay, then is equal to house dot area per person. So the result will go in app, and what I'll do is I'll put this particular thing control X, control V, okay, and then control C and control V, and the area per person of a house. स्ट्रिंग में जब लिखते हैं तो वहां नहीं होता है. When whatever we have to write in between the strings, there is no use of IntelliSense. Okay. So here we will write app. That's it. Okay. And now again, because in this app the value is that of house 1, but now I'm overwriting that value from this office area per person. Okay, it will be overridden, and then now here if you will see, okay, I have not given you the offices. Okay, I have not given the any part, koi baat nahi. Control C and control V. Okay, and now we have to change control C, control V, 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 double click, okay, like this, clear, and I will put this one is as comment. See, now control C and control V, clear. Now I'll run again. See, I'll put the breakpoint here and we'll build it and run it, okay. House area 2500, floor 2, occupants 4, and area per person, it will go here. House area, that is 2500, and occupants 4, that is 625. It will return, and the return right now app is 0. Right now app is 0. Now this area per person is returning a value 625. So we have to store somewhere. So we will store it in app like this. So now it will be 625. And here you will see, okay, here you will see the result. $625. Okay, now right now in this app is 625 right now in the office one, but again we will overwrite it same, and now we will come here 4500 divided by 40, right? So it will be 112. Right now it is 625, right, the previous value, and now I will run this code. It will be 112. It will be 112, and then you will see it's 112. Scope, right? In which class? Main class or the building class? Building class, no, because it is a local variable. We are storing this value in a local variable. Like minute. Now tell me. रिटर्न किया, ओके. नाउ दिस पर्टिकुलर मेथड ये कौन कॉल कर रहा है? ये क्लास कॉल कर रही है. कौन कॉल कर रहा है? ये मेन कॉल कर रहा है, और मेन में जो ऑब्जेक्ट बना है वो कॉल कर रहा है, राइट? वहां कॉल हो रहा है ना, यहां तो कॉल नहीं हो रहा है, कॉल वहां हो रहा है. तो जो इसका रिजल्ट आएगा वो वहीं तो आएगा, यहां तो नहीं आएगा ना. यहां उसने रिजल्ट मैनिपुलेट कर दिया, लेकिन रिटर्न ये वहां करेगा. ठीक है, तो यहां पर वेरिएबल लेने से क्या फायदा फिर उस वेरिएबल को? तो फिर लूप्स का मतलब ही क्या हुआ? फिर हमें तो ये ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू कॉल करवाना है. अब तुम लोग अपने उस प्रोग्रामिंग से बाहर आओ, मतलब जो तुम लोग ये वाली प्रोग्रामिंग करते हो उससे बाहर आ जाओ, राइट? नाउ वी आर इनटू सम एडवांस कांसेप्ट्स. ये ऊप्स पे आओ अपने लोग. यहां पे मैंने क्या बोला है? वी हैव टू मैप द रियल वर्ल्ड सिनेरियोज टू आवर इन आवर सॉफ्टवेयर वर्ल्ड. तो हर चीज को अब ऑब्जेक्ट के रूप में देखो, ठीक है? थोड़ा जो तुम लोग पुराने प्रोग्रामिंग करते थे उससे थोड़ा बाहर आके थोड़ा बाहर देखो कि उसमें क्या होता है. ठीक है, द सेम प्रोग्राम विच यू आर राइटिंग देयर इन दैट सिंपल प्रोसीजरल, तुम लोगों ने C++ करा है, तुम लोगों ने जावा किया है, दैट्स फाइन. लेकिन तुम लोगों ने अभी तक वो प्रोसीजरल किया है जो तुम लोग सी में करते आ रहे हो. सी इज अ प्रोसीजरल लैंग्वेज, ठीक है? लेकिन अब उस चीज को ऊप्स में आके देखो. आई नो बिकॉज फॉर दीज लास्ट 3 years तुम लोगों ने अभी कोई प्रोग्राम शायद नहीं बनाया होगा कॉलेज में, और ना ही कितना कुछ प्रैक्टिस किया होगा, आई नो. बट यहाँ पर मैं तुम लोग की इतनी प्रैक्टिस तो करा ही दूंगा कि तुम लोग को जो बेसिक्स कंसेप्ट्स हैं वो तो मालूम ही हो जाएंगे. एंड ऑफ कोर्स इट इज अप टू यू कि आप लोग कितना प्रोग्राम बनाते हैं. ये तो चलो मैं कराऊंगा, 60 प्रोग्राम्स तो मैं कराऊंगा. अदर देन दैट जो मैं असाइनमेंट्स दूंगा वो फिर आपको करने होंगे. एंड अदर देन दैट उसकी जो बुक्स मैं बताऊंगा, जो बुक्स मैं रिकमेंड करूंगा, देन यू हैव टू गो फॉर इट. थोड़ा प्रोएक्टिव होना पड़ेगा. ये नहीं कि जितना मैंने करा दिया उतना ही हो गया. You have to do with yourselves also, because God helps those who help themselves. Okay, clear? Now, any doubts? So, shall I abandon this class here? Hmm? And now we will meet on 18th or maybe on 19th. That I need to discuss with your sir.